Chicago News.
And we're talking social media here.
Yeah.
Yeah, experts converging in Chicago today to talk about turning websites like Facebook and Twitter into profits.
And joining us now to talk about that is the CEO of Owlish Communications and LinkedIn expert, J.D. Gershbein. Thanks for being here this morning, J.D.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, LinkedIn, we've got 80 million users now. Tell us what it is and how it has evolved, how people are using it now.
LinkedIn is the largest professional network in the world. It is considered one of the big three. We know what the big three are,
okay.
LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. 80 million plus users currently worldwide. Sometime in early 2011 that will exceed 100 million users. So industries firmly in place, all Fortune 500 companies represented, executives from all those companies also represented. So it's here to stay, and it's doing great things for people.
So you are a LinkedIn expert, and you come up with strategies for people to better use LinkedIn, and you're talking about not just polishing your resume, but creating a personal brand. What does that mean?
Your LinkedIn profile, which is how you're accessed on the site, which contains all of your information, expertise, experience, goes beyond the resume. It's an internet page. There's separate information there. It has an energy unto itself. The resume is a document. Everything's written in past tense. LinkedIn tells present tense and what you can do for a company in the future.
Okay, with unemployment so high, let's get some real answers about how you can utilize social media to help with your job search. There are more than 200 active social networking sites, according to Wikipedia. Do you have to be on all of them? I mean, or do you have to choose a couple of them? What would you say is a good thing to do in order to use it effectively for your job search?
People have lives, and one of the common complaints about using social networking sites is the time involved. However, when used wisely, time becomes the investment. So your ROI, return on that investment, becomes the time you put into LinkedIn, how you're using it, how you're working it, and for the job seeker, that is the place to be.
Okay.
Now, reading a bit about your background, you've done all sorts of things, and you say even your background in neuroscience is helpful in developing some of these strategies. That one puzzles me. How does that fit in exactly?
Well, I work with individuals and companies to create personal brands, and personal brands aren't something that are just arrived at. It's really a collaborative process where we put people's best representations out on these sites, and the goal is to create favorable perceptions in the brain when you're accessed. That's how we brand. That's what makes us choose one company logo after another. That's what makes us choose one service provider over another.
Favorable impressions in the brain. So
without question.
What does that mean when I've got my resume and my Facebook profile? I mean, how do I get favorable impressions?
Well, the resume is only going to tell part of the story. The LinkedIn profile allows you to embellish it, bring out the humanity in yourself, and really tell a company what you can do for them and what you've done.
And I think one thing that's pretty clear is it's not just for the guy or the gal seeking a job, but it's for business people running companies to use social media, because if you're not involved right now, you're missing the boat, aren't you? Yeah.
It's a red flag to not present on LinkedIn. And for those people who would eschew Facebook or Twitter and want to use these as professional forums, LinkedIn is the place to be. You have to represent, but you have to represent well, and ideally communicate on the space. There's a whole interactive space on LinkedIn that many people don't know about because they just think they need to hustle up some content about themselves, and that's it.
That's not a good idea. So, I mean, you're checking into employers, but you have to be careful about what you put on about yourself, too, because that could all be checked out.
Without question, you have to command your brand.
Okay, that's a
JD,
good word.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about here. We just scratched the surface, but thank you very much for sharing
Thanks for being here, JD.
Some of your knowledge with us this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right.